is our conversation for this morning. Can you all see that? Responsible. Here's the thing. You're going to see the word, and it's going to be in the noun versus the verb form. Now, I don't know what the hell I'm saying there because I'm not so great in language. But are you a responsible? Are you a mom? Are you a dad? Are you a brother, sister? Are you a responsible? I'd say, because I want the way what I loved about it is that it's breaking up the way we look at it. It's causing you to put this nexting. Remember, we talk about nexting. Responsibility. Are you? Well, you shouldn't be responsible anything. Are you there should be a word after that. The brain is going through all this information. No, are you a responsible? If we were to put a bucket out, responsible, non-responsible, not responsible, which bucket would you go in? Oh, I'd go in the responsible bucket. It's a question that haunts a lot of us. It's a question we hardly ever ask ourselves. Are you a responsible? And let me look here. So we've got Rob, we've got Bob, we've got Jair. We got 3 guys on here who may or may not want to sit through this whole thing. But I can tell you, ladies, because the way your brain operates differently, this is a huge, sometimes thing you sit quietly sometimes and cry about is, why do I have so much to do? Why isn't there somebody else to help me? So are you responsible? We're going to talk about that. What are you responsible for? How has responsible served you? How has being responsible served you in the past? I can tell you, being responsible for this call has made a huge difference in my life. Here it is, the 14th of January. I've done more since the beginning of January than I have in months previously. So being responsible has served me well. Being responsible has made my life shit as well. When we were running the family businesses, we had 7 family businesses, but there was only 1 family member running them all. But because I was the baby of the family, because I was all of this, I used to run all of our businesses, be involved in all of them. My brothers were only involved in a handful. Dad kind of counted on me, so I was responsible for the family to go to Puerto Rico, to go to St. Croix and St. Thomas every week, get on a plane, to fly home and run the restaurant on Saturday night so Dad could have a night off. And my brothers lived right there within 6 miles of the joint. Why would I have to fly all the way back home? Because I was the responsible one. How many times do we take responsibility on and wear it as a badge? Look, I'm responsible. I'm dying, but I'm responsible. Meaning I'm just forcing myself into situations maybe I shouldn't. What makes you responsible? Who makes you responsible? Meaning when I say what makes you responsible, right now there's a situation you're going to be in today that you're going to take charge of, or you're going to be responsible more to yourself. See, this whole conversation this morning is about being a little bit more responsible to yourself. Kathy knows this gentleman. Ron White's got his 1923 book club. And the first book we're reading is P.T. Barnum. And I'm like, oh my God, me read a book in a week? But chapter 9 was 4 sentences. To give you an idea. You can do all of these. They're less than 100 pages. But what I'm saying is that I joined that because I said, okay, I want to be able to say in 2020, I read a book every week in 1919. So what makes you responsible when you look at this word? What do you give up? What do you give up to be responsible? What do you give away to be responsible? What do you take over to be responsible? When do you give up being responsible? Mason journaling. I kind of gave up on, I didn't give up on Mason journaling, but I gave up beating him up about it. Probably because I was creating a negative little pattern in his body, the more that I'm understanding this. So when is your life changed with responsibility? When you've been responsible for something, when has your life changed? So I'll give you a big one, because sometimes we forget the moments we became responsible. October 20th, 2003, at 12:16 in the morning, 12:16 in the afternoon, just after lunch, I became a responsible dad. Now, don't giggle. We're still working on me becoming a responsible dad, but at that moment, I became responsible for a child. See, the 9 months prior, Michelle was responsible for him solely by herself, right? As the mom, I became responsible the second he was born. He came into my life and I was able to do things. Little things like that. Responsible to teach him driving now. Oh my God, that happened quick. So what are the things, when has responsibility changed your life? Whether it be for you as for you, it's always you personally, but was it helping somebody? Was it doing the right thing and seeming like it was wrong at the time? How much time do you spend responsible? I started to ask myself this question, and I don't know the answer to that. I would like to believe I'm responsible 51% of the time, if not a whole heck of a lot more. But sometimes I think maybe some of the things I do, I may be a little irresponsible. Who do you responsible for? See, doesn't it sound funny to see the words like that? I'm glad, I hope it does, because it's about changing the way we look at things. Who are you responsible for? Yourself, someone else? What are your rules for responsible? In order to get dropped into the responsible bucket, what are some of the rules that you have in place? Are all of those rules good rules? I know, again, as a mom, moms do so many responsible things, it's crazy. I know one of them I'll throw out is laundry, right? Michelle, there's something in the back of my mind. My walls aren't soundproof, so I maybe shouldn't say this too loud. Michelle's responsible for the laundry, but it's not, so I don't know that it's responsible because this is sitting with me right now, but more often than not, I guess I have to go learn how to actually do laundry, meaning without screwing things up. There's colored clothes that we use that get bleach in it, but then there's other colored clothes that don't get bleach in it, like bath towels and stuff. They're not whites, they're colored, but she'll throw bleach in it because we use it on our bodies and then twice wash it. So there's a whole system that I don't know, maybe I've wimped out on of trying to actually learn how to do it. I'm sure I could. I'm a smart individual. When do you turn responsible into action? When does this conversation of, well, I'm a responsible person, will prove it? When does that show up? When does responsible produce results for you? Well, the last time I had results was whether I was on an exercise kick, I was going to walk every day, or I was going to drink more water. See, I don't know, a lot of times when I'm mentoring people in my coaching, people will say, well, yeah, but I know I need to drink. So who are you not being responsible to if you don't drink the water? I don't know that sometimes we connect that. I'm not going to say we never connect it, because there's times I know Mason will come down and he'll see me drinking water and he'll go, I have to drink more water, is what he says to himself. When is being responsible let you down and fail to produce? And if you really looked at it, what was the lesson you learned? Were needing to learn the lesson? But all too often, sometimes we take on this responsibility. We become so responsible for other people. You should do this. I'm going to help you do this. And if you do this, your life will be better. And they don't do this. And guess what? Their life hasn't changed, but your life has turned to shit because you're the one feeling you let them down and they never wanted to be picked up. When does being responsible make you an outsider to the group? If I had to guess, I'd guess Kathy's got a story or two around that one. I can just see her giggling. And when does responsible make others, what other things can you think of around being responsible, being responsible? I'm just going to pop these up. Requirements: become aware of your condemning thoughts about responsibility. What have you put you right now? There's a thing that you have taken on, this burden, this moniker, this staff of responsibility that you won't let go. Well, nobody asked you to pick the damn thing up in the first place. That's a huge one. I'm going through that right now with a friend. I never, and it's somebody I've known for 15 years. I have picked up this staff of responsibility that I lay it down when I'm not talking to them. How many of you go, well, I'm not doing that again? But as soon as they show up in your life, you pick it back up and go, yes, 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 yes. Become immersed in sound and silence. And what belief do you have towards forgiveness of yourself if you become less responsible in the situation, if you became more responsible to yourself? Woo, 10 responsibilities you should challenge. Yikes. I couldn't figure out when I was doing this slide how to make that less painful for me. How to make it less pain. Oh my gosh, the things that I think I do that are good, doing lives on Facebook. Who the hell cares? I'm going through this training with Ray Higdon, and one of the things I love about it, he goes, if you're not asking people to take action, see, I've always been responsible, be responsible to them, not for them. You've heard me say that before. I will give you the information, but I won't ask you to take action. Well, I've been a sinner in that because I've never asked people to take action on any of the stuff I've delivered. So going through this challenge, you'll see me doing these call to actions when you watch my videos anymore. And on every video, I'll do a call to action because Ray said, he goes, don't people deserve to have better? And if you're going to go do and share content, information, share part of you, shouldn't they take action on something in that so that they can get better? We're not here in a world of looky-loos. We have to sell something. Nothing moves, nothing exchanges until somebody sells something. So that's been a big aha in the last 6 days for me to do everything with a call to action. So now I've changed my responsibilities on my lives. Feels kind of weird, but what are things that you're responsible for that you should challenge right now? And again, these slides are up in Daily Awakening. Fear of being responsible. If you went back here and in this list, you challenged one of your responsibilities, you're going to go through fear of letting that thing go or taking it on for yourself. Who could you, I shouldn't say should, because you should all over yourself. Who could you be more responsible to? I'm going to get real close so when I watch the video later, I can see myself. Sad. If you've not, so if there's things that you know, and this is where setting goals, whether it's exercise goals or diet goals or water goals or reading goals or journaling goals, that we realize we really should have been doing it all along, and we get sad about it. So that we should have known to do that. You're going to go through it. I ask you to not stay there very long. Then we get excited about this new responsibility. How many of us have ever been excited about a goal? Because that's what it is. A goal is a responsibility. You set it, you write it down, you're going to take care of it for you. And because you take care of it for you, other people are going to benefit, whether it be income-wise, time-wise, freedom-wise, health-wise. If you're in network marketing and you're taking some of the new products or whatever it is that your company has, and you're getting healthier. You get excited about it. See, I think the challenge is that, and this is just hitting me right now, I could be totally off. God knows I've been wrong many times before. But I think when we get involved in this thing of network marketing, or we get involved in this thing called Join Me on My Quest, people will join you on your quest, but we've never taken them through the fear or the sadness of it. And that happens to them on their own in the quiet of their own home. They become fear and sad, and that's why we don't see them 30 days after they get started. They go into the witness protection program. Is because we can jump, and most of us, I believe every one of us on this, I'm looking on this call, every one of us can go from people not knowing anything to getting them excited about something. If you've ever done that, raise your hand. So if you've done that, guess what we've just done? We've taken away their chance to go through fear and sadness before they can become excited and own the excitedness. I think I just hit on something, and I'm going to work on this later, but I'm thinking I just maybe hit on something that's a challenge with prospecting. We take people past these first two, and that's why they disengage 30 days later, because they get to sit with the fear and the sadness, and they forget to get re-engaged with the excitedness. And then through recognition is where we keep them excited and we make it the new normal. Special note to myself, review this part. So what's your discipline for I will challenge today to become more aware of my rule sets? I will challenge today to become more aware of my rule set. What are your rules to be responsible today? Right? Or is, you know, I don't know why this keeps running through my head, but it's run through my head since I started the slide. And I have no idea why, but it keeps showing up going, you better say it. I'm okay, so I'm going to say it. When I talk about being responsible, the thing that keeps running, that little voice on the side of the stool, right in the center of my brain is going, talk about burning your bras. I'm like, I have no idea why I should even talk about that. But I think it was this moment. I think what I understood as a child is that in that it was not being part of the status quo. It was changing a state of who you are. So I keep saying, so maybe I'm going to check all your Facebooks to see if I see you outside with a bra on fire waving it. I have no idea why I'm asking that or saying that, but that's what's popping up. What can I change if what can happen if I change my rules? If you change your rules around responsibility, what would change? And this was again, in my meditation this morning, I had other things planned last night that I did. And when I woke up this morning, this is the word that just was like sitting on my chest, right? Beamish will usually sometimes, if he's done something, maybe he's knocked something over out in the living room, he'll come running in and jump up and sit on my chest, and you can feel the weight of him. It's comfortable, but kind of he's in that. So this is the thing. If I happen to change my rules around responsibility, what changes? This one when I feel it in my body, I feel it either in my gut, a lot in my gut, and in my heart. So there you go. That was responsible. And that's the word that showed up this morning. I'm going to stop chatting right now, stop my screen.